Alright, so I'm going to jump in to today's question. Hey Nikki, I am a 20-year-old and I am, as people call it, a plus-size girl. And I don't really like my body, but I try hard to embrace myself. I am really into makeup and fashion, and I always try to look nice, not just for others, but to feel better about myself. What happens is that I live in a society in which it is really, really important to have a nice body to get guys to like you. As I told you, I am 20 and my last actual relationship finished at the end of junior high school when I was 16, or of junior year of high school when I was 16. Since then, I have had other people in my life, but they never wanted me for a serious relationship, just to play around. I feel bad because everyone around me has someone or something that makes their everyday interesting, whereas I don't really have anyone to turn to, so I focus on things like my academic life. I have a 4.33, oops, sorry, my computer just started making noise. I have a 4.33/50 grade point average in college, but I really want to turn this around because loneliness is tearing me apart. What are your thoughts on this? Thanks, and I'm sorry for the long-ass question. All right, so I am going to say, from the tone of your email, it doesn't sound like you're okay with being overweight. And to be honest, I don't think most people are. I mean, you can't say everybody, like, you know, nobody is okay. I don't know. I'm not in anyone's mind. But I think most people are not okay if they're with it, if they're overweight, because I think it affects your health, it affects your mood, it slows you down. And, you know, I would really recommend, first, before I address the boy stuff, I would recommend taking care of yourself. And if that's true and that's something that you're not feeling good about, I would recommend really focusing on developing a healthy lifestyle. And if there's something physically, like medically wrong, I would recommend going to the doctor and getting that checked out and really striving to take good care of yourself, because I think if you take good care of yourself, and I'm not talking about, you know, what you referenced about having like a good body, I'm talking about really taking pride in yourself and taking care and feeling the best you can feel. I think that that is the first step in a relationship anyways, because you don't really want to go looking for a relationship in whether it's your weight or something else when you are feeling not good about yourself and like you're kind of not the best you can be, and maybe there are things you really need to work on for you. So, like I did that for you. So that's the first thing, is I would recommend taking care of your body and figuring out how to get healthy. Now that being said, everybody leave your thoughts, comments, all that stuff down below. As usual, I like to know what you guys think. And as far as like loneliness, I would say in the meantime to really focus on your relationships with your friends. And if you don't have a ton of friends, I would recommend going out and trying to make some friends, whether that is through a church or a club or schoolwork. I know you mentioned that you're really into school, whether there's like a study group or a club at your school that you can join. I just really recommend getting to know some other people, investing in those relationships, you know, showing interest in them. I think that's the best way to make friends, is to show interest in other people, because we all want people like to show interest in us. So if we show interest in other people, a lot of times people will just kind of like you, because it's kind of like a little more rare because we're all walking around wanting people to be interested in us. So showing interest in others, I think, is a pretty foolproof way to make friends. I mean, obviously sometimes someone's just not going to like you and you can't really do anything about that. But yeah, you know, getting involved and showing interest in others. And that's what I would say, because 20 is still really young. Like, I know that, you know, people will say to me, well, you got married at 20, but like, I recognize that I got married really young. It's a very young age. So you still have a lot of time. So I would recommend getting out there, making friends, focusing on being healthy for you, not for anyone else, not to attain like a good body so you can have a guy, because good bodies, I mean, people can have good bodies and not be very healthy. And so that's not good. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that would be my recommendation towards you or for you. And like I said, read the comments, because people are like so good at leaving their thoughts and suggestions and experiences down below. So, yeah. Now for the Twitter question, it says, "Hi Nikki, I have an obsession with the idea of celebrity and often wish that I were famous and successful. How do you think I can overcome this?" Okay, first off, well, let me close this computer because it's dying, it's bothering me. I think a lot of people have an obsession with like celebrity because otherwise I don't think gossip magazines would sell as much as they do. I think that a lot of people are like into the idea of it. But I think as long as you recognize that the idea of it is different than what like it actually is, I think that, you know, I don't want to say there's nothing wrong with it, but it's like you just keep reminding yourself, like, it's not what it looks like. And I can tell you that even from like, you know, the C-level status of YouTube fame that like I've acquired, is that nothing is ever what it seems. Like, you guys are seeing a little sliver of someone at their best on the internet. Like, you know, you guys see a lot of me. I really try to be open and honest with you, but you know, you're not getting to see everything about me. You don't know like every single nook and cranny about me, and you don't see me when I'm like a complete hot mess or being like, sorry for the word, but being like a bitch to Dan. Like, you guys don't see that all the time, or maybe you think I am. I mean, I don't know, but that's a good thing to remind yourself, is it's not just to it's not like to bash what like famous people are doing, because that's not it at all, but to remind yourself like, hey, it's not what it seems. Those people are putting in a lot of hard work that I'm not seeing, and there are a lot of like things that come with fame, you know, that are not so fun. So that's the first thing. And as far as lumping in fame and success together, I don't think that that's a very fair, like, not analysis, but like thing to put together, because I think that they're very, very different. You probably weren't even meaning it like this. You're like, you really don't need to go on a tangent. But like, being successful is kind of like whatever you want it to be. You can be successful in many different fields in life. You could be successful in terms of your relationships. You can be successful in terms of setting goals for yourself and going after them. And fame, you know, has nothing to do with that. So yeah, that's my answer to that question. And as far as the personal question, it says, does anyone know Casey's relation to Nikki? Okay, Casey, probably asking this because Casey was in one of our Vlogmases the other night, and Casey is actually my adopted brother. So he came over here, we got him when he was 2, and he is now 9 years old. So he is absolutely the cutest little thing that's ever walked on the planet Earth. I love him to death, and yeah, he is my adopted brother. So that is all. Be sure to send your messages, your questions, all that jazz to asknikkip@gmail.com or use the hashtag AskNikkiP. And don't forget to sign up for Netflix using netflix.com/Nikki if you don't have Netflix and you are interested, which, like I always say, I highly recommend. And I will see you later. Bye, guys. I feel bad because everyone around me has someone or something that makes their everyday interesting.